Okay, I want to record a lo-fi track today. That's pretty much the plan. I've done a bunch of those recently. I did some blogs on my website about it as well, about how to do it. And I'm really enjoying the process. So I think I'm going to be doing that today. I thought I'd try a different type of video with this rather than, the thing is I've never been one for snappy edits and snazzy graphics and things like that, because I quite like this being kind of like I'm sat here chatting to you whilst I write music. I guess kind of like podcast format, but so that's what I'm going to try today. I've got my guitar here. So I'd say I recently moved, but I moved almost a year ago, 10 months. It's taken me ages to do anything with this room. I finally managed to put some of my instruments back on the wall. Got myself a standing desk, so I'm not doing my back in so much. And just my legs now, because they're like so tired. And the thing I found is that a lot of my instruments have been in storage. They've been in boxes or the garage or whatnot, and some of them have come out, and the change in temperature and the lack of new strings has meant that they've snapped. So we're down a string on my nylon string here, and my cello's down a string. That ukulele's down a string. Most of them are in terrible states of tuning. But anyway, I'd like to use this little guy today. I'm kind of thinking of the vibe I want as kind of, if you've seen it, the film Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, that's the vibe I'm going for. And I'm quite excited about it. Just a side note, I probably would have done more of these videos, but I really don't like this webcam I'm recording on. I don't like the quality of it. I don't like the look of it. But for some reason, I've run into endless problems when using my DSLRs. As in, it's just taken me ages to sort out, and it's really annoyed me because, I ideally would like something looking a little bit nicer. In fact, actually, I tried it with different microphones as well, because this is quite good, but it tends to kind of squash and distort my voice a little bit more. I did have one of my Rode mics set up, but endless issues. I'm here now. I just thought, you know what? Sod it. I'm going to turn on the webcam. I'm going to use my Rode Podcaster, because I'm rolling with the idea of what would this look like if it was easy. And that's the plan. Going to be writing, I might have to use this to record. I'll see how it works. But I'm going to be writing a lo-fi track with the vibe of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Now, if you haven't heard it, go check it out. It's one of my favourite soundtracks by, I'm going to say his name wrong now, aren't I? John Brion? I'm not sure whether it's a Brion or a Brian. Him. Brion. Love it. It's got this lovely, actually kind of chill lo-fi vibe anyway. And I found that so inspiring. And this is what I love about the whole lo-fi trend at the moment, is this embracing the imperfect, embracing distortions, embracing poor quality recordings, embracing poor performances. It's very much a rallying against what I've done for years with trailing music, which is ultra high quality production, ultra high quality performances. It needed to be the top of the rung in that essence. And it's a lot of work. Those of you in the audience who know trailer music and know how to write it, you know how much work a full-blown trailer track can be. It's not always the way, because sample libraries have got so much better in the last sort of decade. But I'm here now because I want to do some chill lo-fi vibes. And on my site, I've got this blog that's like blog post, or article, I should say, that's how to write lo-fi vibes, how to write lo-fi music in 10 simple steps. I like things that are done in steps. I'm kind of going to follow that vibe here today, which is kind of laying down ambience, laying down your loop, laying down your beat, then adding some things on top of it, a melody, choosing your progression, I should really have the steps in front of me now, but the thing with these steps and rules is you learn them only to break them and or forget them or change them. So that's where I'm going. So I'm going to stick to the track that's 2 minutes long, and I'm going to open up a sample from. Have I got it? No, that's not the one I'm talking about. Music. So I've got all my samples loaded here. I've got all these ill-mined kits that I've never opened. This is the wonderful thing about funnels. I went in to buy one drum kit and then ended up buying like 40 of them and to never use them. So here we go. This is the Demon Lo-Fi kit, and I absolutely love these kits. They're free. You go to the Demon YouTube channel and you just opt in. And they have so many things in there that I just absolutely love. I do actually have a free set of tools on my website. On any of the Lo-Fi posts, you can opt in to download the Lo-Fi tools there. But I want to use something here. I love the idea of crickets. Because we don't really get those here. Or if we do, it's in the summer and it doesn't have the same kind of cool nighttime vibes that I really like. Now I'm just going to tone it down a notch. You see here, this is the other thing. Look at all that noise. Look at all that noise. So obviously I'm going to take that down. I could use this, but I actually like using a single band EQ as more of a high pass filter or a low cut filter. I never really realized that they were kind of the same thing. High cut, low cut. Here we go. So low cut is also a high pass because it's kind of letting the high stuff in. So look at that. We've cut it off around 1,000 and we can't even hear the difference. But that stuff, especially when you're dealing with large amounts of compression, really makes a difference. So I'm just going to copy and paste this, and it's automatically crossfading, which is very handy. And I'm going to move this across over here. Now I do release my lo-fi stuff under a different name, as I do with almost all of my music. It's almost all released under a different name or by a different label. And I think that's actually hugely because I myself like it when a band is clear cut. I'm going to go straight for the Radiohead example here. I love Radiohead, but I find myself navigating to certain albums because of the certain sound. And Radiohead would sort of go, okay, let's do Kid A now, and they do this completely different sounds. And I completely admire and love their musicianship and abilities in not just writing but producing great stuff. But when I load up a Weezer album, I know what I'm going to get. When I load up a Tool album, I know what I'm going to get. When I load up, any of these other artists that have all completely left my mind, Hammock. I load up a Hammock album. I know what I'm going to get, and I like that. There's safety in that, and I think that's why these playlists have done so well, because people load up a playlist knowing what they're going to get. There's not going to be any sort of surprise numbers. If I was to do stuff where it was me singing, I probably wouldn't be so strict with the genres, because oftentimes, if it's a singer I like, they have the ability to move around different genres a little bit more freely because it's the voice I'm kind of drawn to. I think Taylor Swift does that brilliantly, actually. She moves in and out of different subtle genres, and because of her voice and her songwriting style, you kind of go, yeah, it's Taylor Swift. It's like Brian Molko from Placebo. It's an old band. He had such an interesting voice, and I felt like even if they weren't doing that kind of like highly driven alt indie or alt rock, I still would have liked it just because of his voice. It's a perfect example. I'm a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan, and when at the height of my fandom, Billy Corgan could do no wrong. He could have written a melodic love song, and I would have been like, bloody hell, the Pumpkins are great. you know. And then he could have gone hardcore death metal, and I would have been like, man, I love the Pumpkins. And they did, you know. Think about Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. What a great album, but the diversity within the album. I mean, you're going from like, they only come out at night, which is this like great little sort of quirky, odd, kind of happy goth track. Not sure how to describe it. Then you go to like Bullet with Butterfly Wings and Tonight, Orchestral Beauty. It's just lovely. But because of his voice, it kind of ties it all together. And their songwriting tied it all together. Anyway, I get very excited by this long form thing. Because actually, this is why I loved doing the Trailer Music podcast, was this ability to talk to you and not feel like I had to edit all of this stuff out. There's a YouTuber I like called Sam Sulek, who's actually been quite an inspiration for me. And the same with Miles Beckler. Miles Beckler produces marketing videos, and he always says, I don't edit these videos, I just talk, and then I put them up. That's what I do. And I think, actually, and I will sit there and listen to his sort of hour-long videos, because I love them, and they're so full of insights. And Sam Sulek's, Sulek is a bodybuilder, and it's just like hanging out with your buddy. He sort of sat there, sort of chatting away, and I thought, actually, I really like this. And there's so many YouTubers I like who do fast-paced, fast-cutting, really bonkers off-the-wall stuff, and I love that, but it doesn't feel like me. Even though I am quite a high-energy person, this is what I like. Anyway, I just realised I've been talking for like 20 minutes, and I haven't even done anything except done this. I have literally done this. Input cricket noises. The irony is not lost on me, for sure. Okay. So the first thing I'd like to do is, I've done my audio stuff, and I like doing this because it kind of like really brings home this idea of just getting the track laid out, like stopping the blank canvas being there. I've got noise already. Brilliant. I like that. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to try and record my loop. The one thing I forgot to do is to set the tempo. Probably going to go for 80. So my loops are suddenly going to do that, aren't they? That's okay. Just simply move them across. Still on 2 minutes? Yeah, let's just repeat one more. That's Command R for any of you Logic users going, what's he doing? So I need an audio track, and the input I've got is down on the floor, input 1. Yeah, there we go. Now, I'm at a standing desk, and my thingy's down there, so I'm going to put the mic up here and play the guitar like this, you know, like I'm serenading you. The idea is I'm just sticking around these two chords. So, well, I probably won't do C sharp minor. C minor and something else. It's been, although guitar was my first instrument, and I studied it quite extensively, got a diploma in guitar performance, and all the grades in classical guitar, all the grades in electric guitar. Since becoming a composer, ironically, I've stopped playing my guitar so much, so it's like all of those years and thousands of hours of practice have just left my brain and my fingers, which is really, really annoying. Here we go. Let's get this little microphone up. NTG3. I bought this for one of my many kind of distractions. I wanted to start doing some field recordings with an NTG3 and my Zoom. This guy. That's a plastic box containing the Zoom. H5, I think it is. I'm not great with the names. And obviously I got myself distracted, so I never actually used any of it to do some field recordings. Although I did use it to record some of the Lofi samples that are in the freebie that's on my website. Right. I should probably check that this is in tune-ish. I mean, I'm not actually too fast if it's mildly out of tune, as long as I'm getting some kind of basic thing going on here. Oh, this is where I realise it's not actually recording. This is again another reason why I didn't really think, there we go. I mean, that'll do. That'll do. I hope it's, yeah, there we go. Let's just start recording, shall we? I'm just going to go with this very, very simple idea, and then not worry about, you know, like I said, performance being brilliant. Let's go. Classic. Right, I'm going to record that again, because one of the things I'd like to do is double tracking, basically. So when I was in a band years ago, I used to be the singer, and I don't have a strong voice by any means. I don't have a distinctive voice by any means, but I would love to do the singing, obviously, and because I don't have a strong voice, we double tracked it, and it's one of the things that Sufjan Stevens does all the time, which I love. And I know Phoebe Bridgers does it too, double tracking the voice, where you record the voice twice, or record the thing twice, and you pan one hard right, pan one hard left. Incidentally, I know I mentioned Weezer earlier on, that they would do that with their guitars. And I found that out because me and my friend used to listen to Weezer during school lessons, and we'd share earphones. And we didn't have a splitter, so I'd have the left and he'd have the right. And we'd sit there and, like, halfway through the song, one of the guitars would just go, and I'd be like, oh, where's it gone? I didn't realise what was happening until I started recording. And then I was like, oh, that's what they're doing. Right, let's go. Cool. Again, one of the things that attracted me to lo-fi is this idea of imperfection. And actually, my most well-received trailer music was a lot of it recorded by me badly, and, you know, usually playing either my cello or my violin. And I really loved that part of it, that whole part of the process where I could just not worry about being a perfect take or being, you know, this, that, or the other. So let's have a look at this, see what we've got. Let's go audio 1, audio 2. Gonna lay them up like that. We're gonna hard pan. I mean, I know there's some huge Logic nerds watching me being like, technically, Richard, that's not panning. I know Logic does this like strange volume thing, which isn't true panning. I think you can, yeah, there we go. Go to binaural panner. Okay, cool. I'm going to take that. Oh, don't want that. I'm going to take that and create a track stack, because I want to add some effects to both of them. So summing stack, guitars, and one of the things that they have in the sunshine of the Spotless Mind is this kind of like feeling of tape. So I could do it in a few ways. I could go for the free isotope vinyl, which is pretty good. This isn't a sound of tape. You know what? It does the job. And the other thing it does is it has this kind of like feeling of flanging and chorusing. So let's chuck in some modulation effects as well. So I'm going to go chorus on that one. Nice. Okay, one thing I forgot to do, which is to have the single band EQ, do some low cutting. I mean, as a rule of thumb, generally anything below 100 you don't need, unless it's the bass. So that is what I will do there. I'm just going to put these down here and take that down, just to kind of clean this up. This is it's kind of like cleaning while you're cooking. You hear that noise? That's why I don't like a lot of these plugins, because they keep running even when you're not playing. So I will have that on there, but another thing I want to do is just soften off the top end a little bit. Nice. Okay. I mean, there are other things I could do. I mean, I could give it a little bit of soft distortion. So, I mean, it depends how hard I want it to go, really. I mean, Decapitate is a bit hardcore, but there we go. I just want it to feel like it's being recorded on a tape. Like a cassette tape, basically. So, let's take that. That's our loop. Great. Okay. I've chosen my progression and I've got my loop there. They're the kind of like simple next steps. Now, what I do like to have a second section, but you don't need to have vinyl. You don't have to have another piece of writing for that. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to load up an old electric piano of some kind. Ooh, actually, wait a second. G minor. Yeah, this isn't what I intended, but actually I quite like that. I think that sounds quite cool. Let's just play it over and see what it sounds like over the top of that. 3, 4. Oh, wait a second. Got to make sure I turn that off. Otherwise I'm just going to create a take on top of that. I mean, I'll be honest, my first response to that, I wasn't that impressed. So let's go back with my original idea. Let's get rid of you. I do like you, Retro Machine, but I'm just going to go with some of these vintage keys. Ooh, Wonder Camel. That sounds nice. It's a little bit too affected for me. Same as that. There we go. So at the moment, what the guitar is doing is I'm ashamed of myself that I couldn't remember the G minor chord on a guitar. There we go. That's pretty much what it's doing. So I'm going to take that idea, but I'm going to change it. Repeat the idea up an octave. 2, 3. Here we go. I still just absolutely panic when I'm recording this on here. I'm just like, no, I'm going to play it terribly and everyone's going to laugh at me and it's going to be shameful. Notice I'm quantizing it, but I'm only going to go like 40%. There we go. Now let's move that. It's that one. It was this, wasn't it? Cheeky little B, D, B. Move that there and there we go. Right, and I don't like my inconsistent playing either with regard to the tone. Right, that's my second section. So I'm going to throw that around over here. Going to loop these. There we go. Section 1, Section 2. Now, if you're not sure about structuring lo-fi, hopefully, again, I have a post on my site, richardpryn.com, how to structure lo-fi music, where I break down a few really quite well-known lo-fi tracks, just to show you there are no hard and fast rules, but often it's incredibly simple, and you don't need to kind of reinvent the wheel to have anything really interesting or cool, because the idea really is that this is sort of going along with what Eric Satie did in the turn of the 19th century, 20th century, which is kind of like creating this music to be ignored, basically. I mean, I don't listen to lo-fi to listen to lo-fi. I listen to lo-fi to create a vibe in my house. You know, a chill vibe. Admittedly, my kids are like, oh, turn this off, Daddy. Let's put some Wonka tunes on. And I do usually put the Wonka tunes on because that is a fantastic soundtrack. There we go. So what I've got, section 1, they're going to put a melody here. Section 2, this is different. Section 1 with the melody is going to go there with the melody, and then here's where I combine the two, and then it'll just be probably just one fade out of the guitar. Track structured. Don't overthink these things. Now I want to do is I want to load up a kick. I haven't got a bass, but I don't really care at this stage in time. Now I don't want noise and sound. I'm still going to be in this lo-fi demon kit, but let's go to the first one. Ooh, bonus kick. You sound fun. Too hard. I like kick 4. You've sold me, kick 4. You've sold me. Right. Boom. Boom. There we go. Something like that. Boom. 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 And then like a cheeky little number just here. There we go. That will be the kick, I think. It's a bit hard at the moment. Is that definitely in the wrong place? No, I'd put it in the right place. It just hasn't got that first one to really. Right, okay, so the kick has kind of shaped the track so far, with regards to the beat. Remember, the beat comes in there. And one of the things I really love about lo-fi, I mean, I'm going to say this all the time because, to be honest with you, I just love producing music, all kinds of music, and that's why my channel is a bit like all over the place, and my music is a bit all over the place because I just love producing music of all kinds, and I love analysing it as well, breaking it down. Anyway, one of the things I love about lo-fi is this kind of like idea that, you know what, you just grab some stuff and make a sound and it will sound cool. So what should I do? Got some paper on a piece of card. Let's take that and see if we can make a something out of it. Well, it would help, Richard, if you pressed record on the audio. Cool. Oh yeah, I forgot to take it off stereo. Doy. Cool. Normalize. Right, now one of the things we need to do, of course, is single band that. And I also really love doing this trick where you just pitch shift it. So it's like... Now, one of my favourite music producers, and I dare say this, Keith, if you're watching, one of my heroes, Keith Kenneth, he does this a lot with his beats with his music for his moniker Helios, which is he takes a pitch shifter and just down tunes it a touch. Sounds great. Doesn't need to be much. Okay. Although I'm a fan of being slightly out of time, not that much of a fan, so I'm a bit late on there. So let's go. It's probably as much as 16th. Too much, Richie. Too much. Okay, cool. So this is just like scrunching or scrucking. That's my typing word, tell you. Great. I'm happy with that. I think that sounds cool. I should take that off. Now, another thing I really like is to level that out with a hi-hat of some kind. So we're going to go back to that Demon Lo-Fi kit. See what hats they've got. I mean, guys, there's no magic here. Yeah, I'll take that. Boom. Done. There's no crazy, I mean, that sounds more like a shaker to me, but hey, who am I? There's no magic when it comes to this stuff. It's just a case of making choices. I watched a video by Nick D. He's got this other YouTube channel called Freddy for Artists, which is where he kind of like talks about mindset stuff of releasing your own stuff. And so much of it, he says, and I totally agree with him, is just making a choice and just rolling with it and stop putting off getting your music out there by not making a choice. Sounds like a silly thing to say, but I've always had this mantra of done is better than perfect, and that kind of is the same thing here. I'd rather have some kind of hi-hat doing the job than no hi-hat doing the job. Sounds obvious, I know, but what we can do as well is, I'm just looking around seeing if I can think of any more things that I can throw there. Ooh. Got this little bag. So again, still doing my study. Got bags of screws and whatnots. So let's do a less frequent scrunching thing. It's in mono, correct. Recording, good job. On the snare. Cool beans. Let's normalize. Again, low cut. Not too hard this one. Cool. This one is a bit too late. That one's, yeah, they're all a bit late actually, aren't they? So let's, there you go. Let's move you that. I really like that. I think that sounds awesome. Sounds so cool. Right, and then let's have, what did I have there? Right, just fade that out. Okay, and this crunch. I've done it again. Crunch. Crunch snare. Right. Actually, I think I want to leave it until we've got the... So it's like boom, boom, ka, boom, boom, crunch. There we go. So I'm actually going to move that to there. And then it's boom, boom, ka, boom, gum, crunch, boom, gum. Boom, gum, ka, boom, boom. There we go. Okay, I'm almost ready with my... Oh, that's hats, apparently. Maybe they're scrunching hats too. And then I just need my snare. Snare, snare. So again, it just took, like, I prefer lo-fi where it's like an interesting sounding snare. But some people love using boom bap kits, which actually, to be fair, sound great with lo-fi too. I mean, that's my favourite so far. Quite like that. Let's take that one. Boom, boom. Okay. Right, I'm gonna roll off the top because that kind of like extra sound there is a bit too high. There we go. Cool. And then layer that there, and that's my snare. Hey, that rhymes. Everywhere. Right, one of the things I want to do is, I get asked this a lot about rhythmic development and things like that. It's so often a case of creating a single bar loop, repeating it and changing the second repetition, then repeating those two loops and changing the fourth repetition. So here, boom, boom. Then I repeat it again, but this time with a change. That. And that's the repetition of the two now. Boom, boom, boom. And here I would like to have another one. There we go. It's that simple. Nothing completely outlandish. And this, so what I did was I added one there, but here I'm going to just add another one. So now it's changed on the 8th repetition. Yes. I'm loving this right now. Right, okay, so E piano. What I would like to do now is just add some extra layers just to make it a bit more interesting sounding. To be fair, this sounds totally lovely, and I'm quite pleased with it. Very pleased with that, actually. Admittedly, I've been talking and delaying the inevitable of me writing this quickly, which I can do. I could have probably done this in about 15 minutes, but I don't want to do. I like this process of teaching through doing. E-piano, I don't want another E-piano. What I would like is some pads, and I love the photosynthesis pads. I think they're absolutely stunning. So we're in C minor, aren't we? Maybe I'll go up instead. Let's have a listen. So, between C minor and G minor, G is the constant. So I could just have a G. which actually sounds really nice. Let's record that. Wait, I've done it again. How dare you, snare. Delete. Let's just have that all the way through. No, not eighth notes, quarter notes. And there we go. And then the second repetition, I want to think about changing it. And I'm going to take a C down to a B flat, then a C up to a D. Let's repeat that. It's slightly sad, but yeah. I think I navigate to sadness. Right, I want to change that. I don't like this movement for some reason. I might take that out actually. That's better. That feels more natural. And then that's when it repeats. Cool. So it's almost as if this part here is the same as that. It's just, rather than having these bits here, I've just got the G. Okay, so I'm pretty chuffed with this at the moment. There's a couple of things I'm going to do, which I'm going to take this and copy and paste it. I'm also going to bounce this in place, this whole beat, and call it beat effects, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to put that there. But I want it to feel like a telephone is playing the... It's pretty intense telephone, if you ask me. Let's... Oh, did I get rid of it? I did, didn't I? There we go. And let's put it in a space. I mean, why not? Because I want it to feel otherworldly, different, strange, you know. So let's just go silver verb. Okay, now we've got to this stage here. I want to have like a shaker. And I'm going to record it myself. Why not? That's what we've been doing up till now. Give me a second, I'm just going to grab a shaker. It's okay, I didn't break the guitar. Oh, almost did. This might be a bit too bright, but let's give it a go. Shaker, shaker, shaker. Press record, Richie. Thank you for reminding me. Put it on mono. I did it again. Dagnabbit. Put it on record. Okay, there we go. Now let's just take that and have a listen to it. It's a bit late, so let's bring it in maybe by a 64th, see how that sounds first. No, it does need to be like a 16th, doesn't it? Maybe 24th. It's going to be 16th. Okay, cool. I'm going to single band EQ that too. Another thing I used to do all the time is this kind of like fake mono thing where you go sample delay and you then delay one of the samples a little bit. And I think I might even do the tuner thing again as well, which is the pitch shifter. Let's try it. I mean, that sounds pretty chill and awesome, which is exactly what I wanted. Delete that so that when I repeat it, it doesn't go skew-if and wonky. And I think I'm going to take that and move that there, and there we've got our... Except I won't move it there, will I? I'll move it to the right place. Let's move it here. Put that there. So there's a couple of things that I think you guys probably have noticed are missing at this stage, which is some form of bass and some form of melody. The two are not essentials by any means, shape or form, but they do help. So let's pad this up. Let's load up a bass, EX1, we'll keep it mono, keep it all. Super nice deep bass, one of my favourites, especially when it's on. There we go. I mean, that sounds rather beefy, doesn't it? Let's put it on the beat and see how it works. Cool. Sounds okay. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. Taylor's coming to my mind again. Right, let's just take the release off. There we go. Cool. Again, I don't really want the bass to be heard. Oops. I don't really want the bass to be... What is that? Oh yeah, my cam link's not working. I don't want the bass to be heard. That's Command J for Logic users. To join two regions. I don't want the bass to be heard, I want it to be felt. But I also don't want it to get in the way too much. So I'm just going to leave it a little C over here. Okay, so I almost need to hold that down and then fade it out. Quantize. There we go. Okay, and then this will go back again over here. And now we need to do that lovely little thing called side chaining. So we take the dynamic compressor, very quick side chain lesson. We're going to turn auto gain off and take this on off auto as well. Nice quick attack. We're going to choose the input, which is going to be the kick, audio 4. Lower the threshold. It doesn't have to be that hard or that high. Leave the makeup gain, leave everything else, and see how that fits. Almost went into don't talk mode then. So, which for one of these tutorials is not great, but cool. So there's two things. I want to have a melody. I quite like the idea of having another guitar part. Sadly, duffed up my neck a bit. Fretboard. So the easiest way to think about what to do when it comes to like another pattern is just to take the same notes but move them up an octave. It's easy trick. So that's going to be our C minor. And where's our G going to be? So I wonder if that'll work. Let's try. I think I might just noodle. Yeah, I'm just going to noodle. This is going to be fun. And it's going to be embarrassing too. Noodle. Noodle, noodle. Right. Here we go, you ready? Cool. Pretty happy with that. Now let's just normalize it. Right, how delayed is that? I mean, it's just shy of a 16th, really, isn't it? So let's check the delay. Let's call it a 24th. That's better. Boom. Now again, we want to single band EQ this. I'm actually going to give this some lo-fi effects too. I'm going to use actually my favorite lo-fi effects plugin, the Retro Color. And I'm going to want this to feel like VHS. Too much wobble. Too much retro gaming. Okay. Right, so one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to compress this first, actually, because the peaks. So right, the reason I'm compressing it is because the louder notes are jumping too much. I want to squash the louder notes and raise up the quieter notes, and that's you know, one of the main reasons we do use compression. See there? Right. Again, roll off the top. Do you know what? I think I like it without the. Okay, again, I'm not quantizing stuff because the vibe of this isn't that. The vibe of this is let's just jam and chill and have a good time. And that's what I love about this stuff. All right. Now, I'm going to take this up here, and one of the other things I like to do is bounce in place, noodle, 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 and I'm going to reverse it after... Oh, can you see this, by the way? The compression at work. Compare the two. There we go. So let's go back into the audio file and reverse it. Okay, and we're just going to take a couple of bits out of this. Going to move this over here, and I'm going to take that reversed C, hear that, and put it there. And let's put it there too. Let's take that C, put it there. Yes, and let's put that retro colour there. Yeah, I mean, this is sounding really cool. I'm really enjoying it, which I think is kind of what you want with your tracks, isn't it, really? And then let's repeat that. Right, let's take that, put that there. Okay, nice little shortcut to finish the track is to go into mix and create track automation, create volume fade out on main output, and it just goes toodaloo. There we go, and it's faded out. Now, I'm just going to have a listen through to the whole track, but honestly, I'm pretty happy with this for an hour's work. New track, it's not mixed yet. I mean, it kind of is because I've been doing it on the fly as I've been going. But it's got the vibe I wanted, kind of like wonky, wobbly, just feels nice. I've put the vinyl on there too. There we go, let's have a listen. Okay, I know I said I'm going to listen to it, but just realised something, right? One of the things I always say is don't give away all your secrets, all of your elements straight away. And I've done that with this melody. I've gone straight in, so I can actually take that, delete it, and I'm just going to have this. I'm going to introduce this new part slowly. Yeah, because remember, the beat has just come in here. So before you kind of go, hey, Rich, what the hell are you doing? The beat's just come in, so I don't need to worry about it. So that means that when we hear this, there we go. Now when we hear it again here, it's new. And then the second time we hear it in full, it's got these extra layers, so our brain goes, oh, new. Right, let's have a full listen now. Okay, that sounds pretty decent. I'm chuffed with that. Just going to add this last little set thing here. That's C. Actually, that needs to have a little fade out on it. Fade out. Put that C there so that we end with that final note. And probably copy that too. Awesome.